Hi, and thanks for joining me on another short video. And today I want to talk a bit about strategy. Strategy is something that I often get asked to help with, especially if there's a new CTO or VP in town, and that's great because you should be thinking about your strategy. The issue is that strategy means a different thing to every person. So what do you think about when you think about strategy? My guidelines are, first of all, to think about the next 12 months ahead if you're part of a startup. And if you're part of a bigger enterprise, I'd think about 18 months ahead and start by mapping out the different risks that your team might be facing and make sure that you have the preventative measures and contingencies needed to make sure none of those is going to bite you. All right? You should be at least a step ahead of your team. And then to think about how your team can have a bigger impact on the organization and how it can help you achieve greater goals, you should look at three different aspects: talent, tools, and technique. Talent is your people. You should be thinking about how your team is going to evolve, which people are likely to be leaving, how many new hires you're likely to make, who should be advancing. Have basic succession planning. You're not going to manage Wells Fargo, so you don't need to have a CEO ready to jump in, but you should be aware of what's going to happen if someone leaves, etc. That's your talent thinking. How are you going to mentor them and make your organization better? How are you going to make your team leaders effective leaders? All right, that's talent. What's your strategy about that? Next is tools. We do not think about internal tooling enough, and I'm not talking about tech debt. That's a different thing. I'm talking about making sure that your environment helps your team be effective, as most effective as they can be. How can you leverage your internal resources and knowledge in order to make sure that you bring everyone's level up to a higher bar? You shouldn't just have one single superstar or two who know everything and can manage everything and that the rest of the team relies on. You should be bringing everyone to that level and make sure that they can do it. The way to do it usually is by making sure that you have great tooling that saves everyone great amounts of time. And I highly recommend you think about that as part of your strategy. And lastly, we have technique, and that's about making your people better themselves. Maybe you should be working on making your processes better, making sure that you provide feedback in the right way, that your teams grow properly, maybe have workshops for your teams in order to make sure that people actually know better what they're doing, be it getting better at the technologies they're using, interviewing better to make the talent acquisition better, etc., etc. But those three things are usually what you should be thinking ahead. Not just whatever demands you're getting from product, but how you're going to build the basis to make sure that you can answer all the demand you're getting and create a bigger impact. Right? I'd love to hear what you're thinking. You can comment, send me an email, and thank you.